Hey there, friends. This video is working into creating opening, strength, and flexibility in the hips. Now, the way we're going to do this is through what's called a standing pose series, exactly what it sounds like, a bunch of standing poses. Standing pose series is doing a few standing poses on one side, followed directly by the second side. No flow, no break, one side, second side. And what happens here is that it builds a lot of nice heat in the hips. One of my teachers always likes to say that this cooks the hips. So this practice is great for anyone who's looking to build a little strength to get into their hips and to get grounded as well. Now, I do want to say that before we do this practice, you are welcome and encouraged to maybe do a little bit of a warm up, right? That warm up video flow that I have on my YouTube, or another warm up that's in your practice that you like. You are welcome to do this practice in and of itself, just as a standalone. Doing standing poses in general is pretty safe, but if you know that your joints or your body needs a little extra prep, just get your body moving a little bit, maybe do some sun salutations. This video is just the standing poses, so you might want to warm up ahead of time, and you're also welcome to do your own cool down afterwards, maybe get in a little pigeon or a nice stretch. So begin by standing in Tadasana on your yoga mat. Take one hand to your low belly at the front of your pelvis and the other to your sacrum, which is that flat bone that's right in between the two wings of your pelvis. Let your eyes gently close or pick a soft gaze. And we'll start just by anchoring into the hips with 3 breaths towards or into the hips. Start by exhaling until you're comfortably empty. Through your nose, inhale through the low belly and towards your hips as if you could spread your pelvic bones from the inside out. Hold at the top of your inhale for 3, 2, 1, and take a sigh. 2 more just like that. Inhale into your pelvic bones. Spread them from the inside and hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, let it go. Last time, through the nose, inhale, breathe into low belly, left and right sides of pelvis, back of pelvis, hold. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, sigh it out. Okay, begin by stepping your feet open, about 3 to 4 feet apart, setting up for warrior 2 on the right side. Spin your right toes to the right. Spin your left toes, your back toes in just a little bit. Inhale, open your arms out. Warrior 2, exhale, bend into the front knee. Starting with extended warrior, exhale, take your right forearm to your right thigh. Bring your top hand right onto the flat bone of your sacrum. Inhale, breathe into your pelvic bowl. Exhale, push your right heel down into the ground and feel how that turns your leg muscles on. Inhale again, breathe into the right side of your pelvis. Exhale, draw your right lower belly up away from your pelvic bowl. That should be fun. One more breath here. Inhale towards and into your pelvic bowl. Exhale, maybe press into your hand a little and lengthen out of your lower back. Inhale, take your top arm straight up to the sky. Exhale, take your top hand down halfway between your feet and bring your right palm to your right inseam. Straighten your right elbow. This bottom hand can be on a block. Start to lean forward into your bottom hand. Inhale, lengthen your spine out of your hips. Exhale, push your thigh against your hand and your hand against your thigh and say hello to your right adductors. Inhale again, breathe down into the right wing of your pelvis. Exhale, draw your right low belly and your right hip bone off of your thigh bone. One more breath here. Inhale into pelvic bowl, down into pelvic floor. This time, maybe take a sigh or a lion's breath. Exhale. Inhale, runner's lunge towards your right foot. So slowly walk your hands to frame that out. Pivot your back heel up. As you exhale, spin your right toes to the right, 45 degrees. It's about like 1:30 on a clock. Ground your hands and let your hips come down and low. Okay, a little flow here to start to build some pulsing strength. Inhale, breathe into your pelvis. Without moving your feet, exhale, drag your feet together front to back and left to right. Twice more. Inhale, soften the drag and breathe into your hips. Exhale, scissor your inner thighs towards each other like you're sucking into the midline. One more time, big breath, soften. Let the breath touch your pelvis. Exhale, draw feet towards each other, front to back and left to right. Spin your right toes to face forward. Straddle forward fold facing the long edge of your mat. As you exhale, carefully straighten your front leg and pivot both of your feet so your toes point towards the long edge of your mat, outer edges of feet parallel. As you inhale, find a flat back. As you exhale, walk your hands to your right foot for a side bend, forward fold. Parshva Prasarita Padottanasana. Feel for deepening your right hip crease. Draw your ribs and your belly towards your thigh. Inhale into the right side of your pelvis. Exhale, tip the weight a little forward into your toes and pick your quads up. If possible, you might start to tilt your hips up a little more, crown of head a little more towards your shin. Feel the left and right sides, how different they are. One more deep inhale here. Maybe a sigh. Back to runner's lunge over that same right foot. I know. Pivot the right toes to point towards the right. This time, walk your right toes all the way out to the outer edge of your mat so you're in a traditional lizard lunge. Right foot parallel to the right edge of your mat, hands to the inside of your foot. Now, as you exhale, go ahead and set your back knee down. Feel free to pad underneath of that as always. You can stay right here, toes and knee point straight forward. Some of you may find that you want to come down maybe onto the elbows. You can use a block underneath your elbows. Final option, flatten right palm to the floor or to a block. And for fun, reach back with your left hand for your left foot. Bring your heel in towards your butt as you sink your hips down and forward. Quad stretch. I personally need to come up a little higher here, so feel free to elevate the pose a bit. As you inhale, draw your ribs forward towards the front edge of your mat. As you exhale, push your right foot down so that leg stays nice and active. Probably starting to feel some juice in that right hip. Soften your jaw, find a space where you can be at ease here. Exhale, release the back foot. Shift your hips over your back knee. Slide your front foot in, setting up for gate pose. So you're in a little kneeling posture. Press into your legs and come upright. For gate, spin your back left shin behind you. You're going to end up facing the long edge of your mat and then straighten your right leg. Sort of looks like triangle, similar kind of shape. Pop your right toes up. Inhale, arms up, reach up, lift up. Exhale, side bend over that leg. Now you can stay just here if you'd like to go a little deeper, opening the side of the flank. Exhale to bend the top elbow, hold the back of your head, and reach through your elbow. Inhale, this time into the left side of your pelvis. Exhale, turn your left glute on and almost feel for pressing your hips towards the long edge of your mat. One more full breath here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press into both feet, and we're coming all the way up. Inhale, both arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart, knees come together. Take a moment to sit back on your heels and just feel, right, that asymmetry, how different the two sides feel. And then to come up, rise up to stand, and you can play by tucking your toes back behind you, butt to your heels, lift your knees, and just come right up to stand. right into the second side. Take a moment in Tadasana. Again, just feeling left side, right side. Step the feet wide. Spin your left toes to the left. Back toes spin in just about an inch. Inhale, arms open. And exhale, sit down, warrior two. Inhale fully towards your pelvic bowl. Exhale, left forearm, left thigh, right palm to your sacrum or to the side of your hip. Right away, start to breathe down into your pelvis. Can you feel your breath moving underneath your hand? Check if the action through your hips is causing a death grip of your toes or a clench of your jaw. Feel for pushing your left heel down and lifting your left low belly to get a little bit of lift and lightness. Last breath right underneath your hand. Feel that breath moving the bones of your hips, the flesh of your hips. Exhale, sigh it out. Top arm goes straight up on inhale. Exhale, melt your top hand down to a blocker to the floor halfway between your feet. Take your left hand to left inner thigh, and then straighten your arm, beginning to lean forward into your bottom hand. Press your leg against your hand against your leg, and lift your left low belly and left hip bone off of your left thigh bone. Inhale into the left side of your pelvis. Exhale, soften your teeth, your gums, your skull. Nice full breath in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, gently press thigh against hand, hand against thigh. One more breath here. Exhale, runner's lunge. Walk it carefully towards your left foot, pivot your back heel up, and then spin your left toes to the left, pointing towards about 11 o'clock. Climbing up onto hands or maybe up onto fingertips. 3 pulses. Here we go. Inhale into your pelvic bowl. Exhale, drag your feet together, front to back, left to right. Soften the drag, breathe in. Wash the breath into the pelvis. Exhale, scissor legs together, front to back and left to right. Last time, big full breath into the hips. Feel free to add a sigh or a lion's breath. Exhale, drag the feet towards each other. Ooh, yeah. Inhale to parallel the left toes to the short edge of your mat, to the long edge of your mat. And then as you exhale, cautiously walk yourself into your standing straddle, facing the long edge. Turn your toes in a little, and then as you exhale, walk your hands to your left shin, ankle, or foot, and start to pull yourself into a forward fold towards that leg. Inhale into the left hip bowl. Exhale, tip the weight forward into your toes a bit and lift your tush up. Pull the quads up and onto the bone. Spike your heels and toes down into the mat. Take a nice deep breath in here. And as you exhale, take a sigh. One more inhale. Maybe a lip flutter. Runner's lunge to the left. Inhale, cautiously pivot. Back heel up, left toes pointing straight towards that short edge of your mat. And then walk your left foot to the outer left edge of your mat, hands to the inner edge of your foot. Classical lizard lunge. Option to set the back knee down. Maybe forward bend, come down onto forearms. Keeping your left toes and your left knee pointing straight forward. Final option, reach back with your right hand for your right foot, adding a quad stretch. Catch that foot, maybe climbing up onto fingertips and let your hips come forward and down. If this makes you feel like your eyes are going to pop out of the sockets, soften your eyes, soften your jaw, and maybe adjust the pose so that it's sustainable. This is also a lovely place to add a few sighs, preceded by nice big breaths into your hips. Release the back foot if you have it. Exhale, shift your hips over your back knee, and then slide your front foot back so it's under your front knee. Press into the feet, inhale, rise up, sort of like you're being knighted. Spin your back right shin behind you, and then straighten the left leg for Parigasana gate pose. Flex the toes up. Inhale, arms reach up, lift up. Exhale, side bend over your straight leg. Stay or take your hand behind your head and reach through your elbow. Now again, we're focusing a little more on the right side body here, as you might imagine. Take an inhale into the right side of your pelvis, maybe even also the right waist. Exhale, turn your right glute on and almost gently press your hips forward towards that long edge of your mat. Reach through the elbow and inhale into the right side body. Exhale, press through both of your feet. All right, let's come up. Press down, inhale, rise, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring your knees together. Sit back on your heels. One hand to heart, one hand to belly. And a few moments to just feel the subtle effects of this practice. Inhale into your pelvic bowl. Hold at the top of your inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, take a sigh. Once more, feel if it's changed from when we did the same breathing at the beginning. Inhale into your pelvis. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Okay, my friends, from here you can either continue your practice, move into something stretchy, or just go ahead and go about the rest of your day. Thank you so very much for joining me and letting me guide you as always. I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you did, click the like button, subscribe, and feel free to ask for any requests of things you'd like me to offer or teach in my videos. Thanks again, and I hope that you have an excellent rest of your day. Namaste, friends.